SnipingIsFun here, and this time I'm going to be doing my first ever Nintendo DS review of Kirby Superstar Ultra. Now, Kirby Superstar Ultra is a DS remake of a game that came back out on the SNES called Kirby Superstar. I never played that game, so this game is going to be a review solely on this game and not comparing it to the original on the SNES. If I ever get to play that game, I'll do a review specifically on that version, but I haven't. If I ever get a chance to, hopefully it comes to Virtual Console one time. Starting with the review. Having played a few Kirby games throughout my life, being a decent fan of the series, this game actually is quite fun to play, actually. I think the gameplay actually is really good, actually, and there's a lot of different things you could do in this game. The gameplay, basically, if you guys have ever played a Kirby game, not Kirby Air Ride, any of the normal Kirby games, like Kirby 64, Dreamland Adventures, Superstar, the original, stuff like that, you would know what I'm talking about, like the whole, from going from point A to point B in the level, sucking up your opponents, your enemies to take their power, stuff like that. That's basically what the gameplay is like. And actually, it is actually really fun. And I don't know what it is, but Kirby games are really fun, actually. The presentation again, the graphics for a DS game, they're actually really polished and really well done, and I actually think they actually look really good, actually. And I don't know, they just look good to me. Maybe you wouldn't, maybe some other people won't think so, but I think they actually do. The sound of the game, pretty much perfect. A lot of the music, especially Green Greens, is pretty much awesome in this game, and the music's all really well done. And you can even listen to the music later on, after you beat part of the game in like a mode, like in one of the options. You could listen to some of the music in the game actually, after you beat most of the story. The story of the game, there's various different stories. There's like a story where you face King Dedede, a story where you face this giant bird, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, a story where you fight Meta Knight, a story where you play as Meta Knight called Meta Nightmare Ultra, or something like that, Super Meta Nightmare Ultra, or something like that. You play as him and play through the entire game as Meta Knight. Tournament, there's two different, tournaments or something like that. I was never able to beat the first one, because it's actually quite challenging to beat 15 bosses in the game. The tournament's pretty challenging. One where you have to revenge a King Dedede. Basically, there's all these little mini games like shooting contest, samurai stuff and whatnot. The game actually is really fun and lot. There's multiple different stories. The multiplayer, I didn't play the game multiplayer, but I'm sure the game has really good multiplayer because the game's fun by itself. And during the game, actually, you can have a computer assist you, so I'm sure, besides just the multiplayer games, I'm sure, and you can actually have a player assist you in the game and actually playing through the main games. That actually would be pretty fun. So basically, Kirby Superstar Ultra is a really fun game. If you're a Kirby fan, I highly recommend this game to you if you have yet to play it. I'm trying to play more of the Kirby games. I haven't played most of them before. I'm trying to play through most of them. I did play 64, and I did play what I think was Dreamland on my cousin's original Game Boy years ago. I downloaded Adventure on the NES 4 or 5 weeks ago. Almost beat that game. I almost beat this game, but the game goes back tomorrow, and I beat about 70% of it or so. I'm stuck on a tournament. It's pretty challenging to beat all those bosses. I bet it's 10 of them or so. 8 or 10, I don't know. Something like that. And the game has multiple different types of stories. There's lots of power-ups that Kirby you can have Kirby suck up his enemies to take the powers. It's a good remake. I haven't played the original, but I've heard basically people talk about the original, and I think it's a good remake. And if I ever play the original, I'll compare it to. It has awesome music. It's a long game because there's 10 different stories, 10 different modes to play through. I almost beat it, but it goes back tomorrow, so I can't really do any more to it. And the game's actually quite challenging once you get to later stories, later levels like Meta Nightmare Ultra, the tournament, King Dedede's Revenge, I forgot what it's called, Revenge of the King or something like that, and all those modes. And they're pretty much getting challenging. The first world or two is actually quite easy though. So basically I give the gameplay of this game a 10 out of 10, the presentation and graphics of this game a 9 out of 10, the sound of this game a 10 out of 10, the story of this game, or should I say stories of this game, a 10 out of 10, and the multiplayer of this game, although I've yet to play it, but just seeing how I think it would pretty much be, an 8.5 out of 10. So in the end, I give Kirby Superstar Ultra on the Nintendo DS a 9.5 out of 10, And I recommend it for anybody out there that wants to either learn about Kirby or is a Kirby fan. Rent it, buy it, I don't care. You just as long as you play it, it's actually quite a fun game. And that's the end of my review. I'll see you guys in my next movie I make. Bye.
The game, and now you know just why I came. I'm the super duper with a booster for the paratrooper of the evil Cooper.